Technology, what a concept.
Great. What do you want to complain about?
You start. I started last week. It's your
And
turn.
I start. Oh, so many things.
Yeah, I mean, how can you just pick just one?
All right,
It's
I can complain about bureaucratic nonsense if you'd like.
oh, please, that's my favorite.
Okay, great. Well, you know the Homeless Services Department, HSD,
Mm-hmm.
and the county had to do all the budget stuff because they were in a deficit, but yet we have $100 million to give Motor Center from Multnomah County, but hey, we're in a deficit, so we're going to cut programs. And then, I don't know, I guess you wait for pennies from heaven to come down to fund the Motor Center. Anyway, we knew there were cuts to services, specifically services for homeless people and people on the margins. And now we're starting to see it. So I got told today that the InReach program that used to be able to visit places that were not county shelters or day centers or things that are funded through the county, they're no longer allowed to go to. So in theory, if somebody's standing in line outside of, let's say, Blanchet House, and an InReach team would happen to be there tabling or setting up or whatever way they reached people, they're not able to do it anymore because the rules have gotten tighter to make sure their budget is also okay. So Blanchet House, Rosehaven, William Temple, and I don't know, Lift Up, PDX, and some other places. So if you ate lunch and moved to another place, the peer worker can't really move with you.
I that I don't understand.
Right.
So they can only offer help in certain circumstances if it's a county funded situation.
County, so they can go to the TAS sites. They can go to any of the county shelter day center sites, but they can't necessarily just pop by the other ones that they used to.
Because those people don't count, I guess.
They don't fit the budget. I do have questions about this, and I know we've
I
had, you know,
I'm just learning about it. I've already formulated several. Yeah.
yeah, like I knew there were cuts. I just wasn't sure how it was going to be cut. I thought maybe shorter hours, maybe less outreach overall, but I didn't know it was going to be like, hey, you can't go to this campsite anymore because it's actually not a county funded shelter or a county funded day center. It's a bunch of people camping on the side of a park.
So how did those people get coordinated with services?
They have to enter into one of the shelter systems.
Okay. And they're closing a bunch of shelters and
Yeah.
making them less accessible. And yeah, I'm bored too, Walden. I'm sorry.
So you see the dilemma that is.
Yeah, I see the stupidity. I don't even call it a dilemma. It's dumb.
And I don't know how the city and the county are still cooperating or not cooperating with each other. Like I haven't been in the weeds on that in a long time, just because I've trusted everyone else. But today, when we were just talking about stuff, it was like, oh, this is something I didn't realize was going to be that. I didn't realize the rules were going to change that way.
Well, we're still trying to understand what the public safety division or whatever it's called reset looks like. There's still no plan that's been presented that I'm aware of since a tentative concept of a plan that came out in the spring. So there's not a lot to understand about how the city and county are working with each other because there's no concrete anything.
Right. So the idea is that if you do need help, you have to try and get your ass into a city or county shelter, even though they're shutting down. Now, the ones that are being shut down and people moving out of, if we reshuffle them, maybe they can get services too. It's just, I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
it just compounds the problem and puts fewer people on a track. That's one way to cut budget, I guess, is to have fewer people in the queue to get help. Of course, that means more people in the street with less help, with more problems, but that's somebody else's budget problem. That's the PPB's problem or the mental health folks' problem, but not the homeless people's problem.
Speaking of PPV, did you read the article about Urban Alchemy's
Oh
little?
yeah, no. I'm always excited. This sounds like it never happens, and maybe it rarely does, but when somebody does the right thing for the right reasons. Was it Willamette Week or was it Merck?
Mercury was Jeremiah.
It was Jeremiah's Merck, sorry, that they uncovered through Sunshine Act and other investigative reporting that the city helped spit shine the turd that urban alchemy is to put a positive glow up on what they're doing out there and that there weren't as many problems. And apparently, folks from urban alchemy reached out to PPB and said, hey, how about doing a joint press release with us about how everything's going well? And to their credit, the PPB is like, no, no, thank you. Also, you're under investigation. And that would smack of inappropriateness. It was a nice go fuck yourself kind of, we don't want to be associated with you. We don't do this in the first place. And we're already investigating you.
Right. Also, this explains. So I had known that Skylar Brockman-Knapp, who's been the Portland Solutions talking head for whatever amount of time now, I knew she was planning on leaving, but her leaving and this timing is very interesting. Not saying it's totally correlated because sometimes it's just coincidence. But when your talking head is like, bye, and then it's like, boom, we've been fucking around and trying to make urban alchemy seem better than they are. It's like,
Yeah, might have something to do. It's sort of like the sociopath that used to be the press secretary for the Orange Shit Gibbon deciding to take family time because family time after having a kid, you go right back to work. After the orange shit gibbon left her and other aides and Marco Rubio and others on the plane to die on their own. Few other people just kind of bailed after, like, okay, this is you guys clearly don't give a shit about us, or, oh, the shit's about to hit the fan, I'm out of here kind of vibe. So,
and apparently that's where the line is.
yeah.
Everything else was fine until it's like, oh, wait, you actually were going to just let us die.
Yeah.
For you
Yeah.
anyway.
I thought it was in the group being not let to die.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, how's Mitch doing? How is this weekend at Bernie's facade going?
Oh boy.
Has he put out another statement? Has he put on new clothes? How's his makeup?
Yeah, no new AI images of his hand weekly on a newspaper. Governor Bashir, I think it is, still not gotten a single response saying, can I just get a message from his staff that he's doing okay, that he's alive? Nothing. Total crickets.
Joyanne Reed, a couple of weeks ago, she was on Ebro Lauren Rosenberg's YouTube show that they do every day. They were interviewing her and she was talking about this, and all she yelled was, everybody dead! Everybody's dead!
I miss her. I miss her from MSNBC. Kind of like Melissa Harris Perry when she was untethered from MSNBC. Not that she was particularly tethered while she was there, which is why she was fired, because she was just calling out racism left and right. Can we just fucking call it racism?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you can't say racism. Or all the details of
Don
that
Lemon
stupidity.
too. Also, now that he's been doing his own Instagram live and running around doing his own reporting, he's gotten a lot more, like, he'll just tell it like it is, which is
Yeah. And that just speaks to the inherent censorship in being a major media outlet, even if you're supposedly one of the better ones, right? But yeah, Reed's phenomenal.
like I said, she thinks he's dead. Everybody's dead.
I mean, he could be a potato. I mean, I don't, you can keep potatoes alive a long time, but
I mean, him like typical white people have aged like a potato. Yes.
yeah. Okay, we can go with that. With
Sure.
like things growing out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, extra eyes.
Weird, wrinkly. Yeah.
No.
So,
I did post recently a picture of a shriveled up hot dog in in one of those turning things in the 7-Eleven, and the caption over it said, it looks like this is about to tell me that vaccines cause autism.
Ew. Ew.
I was like, yes.
Ew.
Because we have shriveled up hot dogs running around while there are major catastrophic food outbreaks, salmonella and E.
All the
coli.
eggs. All the eggs have salmonella.
Eggs and spinach. Taylor Farms apparently supplies all the organic stuff for all the major producers as well. So it's just like eat what you can get out of your backyard.
Just eat cookies.
Uh, Probably not okay either. The frozen pops had bits of metal in them.
What?
Did you hear that one?
No.
There were some frozen juice pops that were recalled because they had bits of
Is
metal.
that on purpose?
I don't. It's probably a machine broke down, but who
Oh, I thought
knows?
maybe somebody was like, fuck them kids.
There was an adult who had posted something. I can't remember who it was, but the post was, "You want to know something? I just ate one of these, and with the way things are going, I'm just taking my chances." I'm going to keep eating them. I don't care what the results are.
You know, back
Yeah,
in my
so
day, we didn't have these issues. We just had like, hey, everything is a little dirty. Maybe wash it or don't.
yeah, yeah,
Roll the dice whatever way you want. And we're going to eat Carvel ice cream cakes, which I still like. And I wish there was a Carvel out here, but there isn't.
I would buy you a cookie puss if there was a Carvel nearby. So
I mean, Cookie Puss, Cookie Opus. Do you remember the St. Patrick's Day? It's the
no,
same mold, make them green, and it's Cookie Opus.
no, I didn't know that one. I remember Fudgy the Whale and Cookie Puss.
Right.
Fudgy the Whale makes sense. Cookie Puss, sorry, Tom, and people who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Tom Carvel was the originator of Carvel ice cream, and even back in the 70s when he was on the commercials, he was about 140 years old. So he's probably about 200 years old now and still making commercials, I'm sure.
So I looked up the commercials this weekend because we were talking about Carvel ice cream cakes. I remember, here comes Cookie Puss out of space, and here's and then the terrible turkey ones. Do you remember the same mold turkey? Suddenly it's a turkey
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Thanksgiving. But at the end of every commercial, except the jingle ones that they went into, it was always his voice.
yeah,
Sounded old as dirt, and he always said thank you.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, he's the kindest ice cream man. Thank you.
He was a nice old man. He was just ancient, as opposed to the crazy Eddie commercials where they were just screaming at you the entire
Buy a
time.
TV. Our prices are insane.
Our prices are insane. All gray market television sets are insane. I do think they were shut down for gray market something or another. I forget. But if you want a TV that fell off the back of a truck, come talk to us.
I mean, that's how I did get a few of my TVs over time.
Well, I mean, that's how I was able to afford a 800 to 250 zoom lens when I was in high school. Just go to one of the gray market shops in New York City, and I don't know how much I spent for it, but it was not full price. That's for damn sure.
No, that's how I got my first CD player, my CD Walkman.
There you go. See?
Yeah, I think it was like $80, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's legit. I'm sure when I bought it, I thought it was totally legit. Because I would never purposefully purchase something that I thought might be illicit.
I mean,
What's the statute of limitations?
I don't know. Oh, Columbia House is closing down finally after like 70 years.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that.
What's the statute of limitations for Columbia?
If they haven't found you by now, they're not finding you.
Well, to be honest, some of the CDs were bought under my cat's name.
Yeah, that's all you had to do is just make up a new name, and they can't really find you. And the thing I did notice out of the several hundred CDs and or records that I ordered from them over the years, that they licensed the music and pressed their own. So it wasn't necessarily always the highest quality pressing of whatever you were getting. Joke's on you. You got a half-ass CD. But they became.
No, my copy of Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood, is shitty.
I know, right? Exactly. The whole repertoire of Poison is mediocre.
My God, my Wilson Phillips is just not as good as yours.
Sarah McLachlan. Yeah, anyway. I like Sarah. Sarah's awesome.
Sarah McLachlan I do like a lot of.
Yeah, but I'm sure I got her music, that and Enya, through Columbia House. But
were you sad because Enya doesn't Enya's not, you know.
Is she not Enyaing anymore?
I think she lives in a castle with like 20 cats.
No, that's Kate Bush.
She frightens me.
She frightens everybody, and I think she's thrilled about that prospect. My
Yeah.
favorite thing, I love Kate Bush, first of all, but I think that's
She
Kate
has
Bush.
amazing songs. She is the weirdest fucking person.
She is a strange, strange person, yeah. But my favorite is the people gathering in the Scottish Highlands, dressing in red flowing robes as a flash mob and dancing to her songs and her music together. And if you have not seen one of these, oh my God, I'll send you a link right now. Hang on a second.
No, but she, you know what she did? She made amazing songs. Sometimes when she would do that high pitchy thing with her voice, it scared me. And I think it also scared my cats. And some of her music videos, when she would get all bug eyed at the camera, it was like, this lady's disturbing. But she has amazing fucking lyrics to the songs. I don't know if she wrote all of them, but she was very talented.
Extremely, extremely talented, beautiful songs, moving stuff. All right.
You know who else is kind of like that? Is PJ Harvey.
Oh, fucking PJ Harvey. She is incredible. What was the show I saw her? Songs from the Sea. I forget the album name. Her presence is just incredible. One of the best performances I've ever seen. Also, if we're gonna keep going with that, my background in the evening is usually Mystery Science Theater 3000. I've been getting back into Dr. Katz lately, but Apple TV has some great, great series. And I got caught up on Silo, which is very, very mid, but still I can't stop watching it. It's not nearly as mid as The Mandalorian, which I hate watch when I had Disney, but been watching Lucky. Stellar fucking cast, great acting, great storyline. But the opening song is by Fiona Apple, and I think she wrote it for the show. And the song is "I Was Raised in the Horns of a Bull," and the song is holy. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. It's so powerful. I love Fiona Apple.
They did not ever push her second and third albums the way they pushed her first. And I know she was so young and she was so out there in a sense. And they tried to make her even more out there to be a shock value artist. And she wasn't as much as it was made out to be. Like, I don't know if you remember what Criminal and all the other videos, they tried to make her look like a strung out, like Kate Moss looking thing.
Right.
And I saw her at Lilith Fair and she was just a young kid screaming around doing stuff, but then she'd do her songs and it was like, holy shit, she could control the stadium.
Yeah, her presence is just astounding. I hope to see her. I
Music
haven't seen
industry
her.
did not do her justice.
No. Too powerful for her own good and didn't want to play the game, and that I think that same thing with
Tori
uh
Amos.
yeah, Tori Amos, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And still just crushing it every time they put out an album.
Yeah, and her latest one, In the Time of Dragons, is so well done. There's a few songs on there when I'm just like, wow, this reminds me of Little Earthquakes.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with it. I will check it out.
Oh, so let's talk about, you went to go see Sugar.
I went to see Sugar, Bob Mould, and the other two guys whose names I can't remember. They were phenomenal. They were so
my
tight.
brother Daryl, this my other brother Daryl, this other brother Daryl, this Bob Mould, my other brother Bob.
Yeah, Sugar band members.
Actually, I don't think anyone knows where that joke is from unless you're our age.
Yeah, it's okay. David Barb and Malcolm Travis. They originally started out in 1992-ish. They put out 3 albums, Copper Blue, which is still one of my favorite albums ever, Beaster, and File Under Easy Listening. All phenomenal albums. Bob Mould just lyrically is incredible. Mm-hmm. The playing on it is amazing. I guess a year or so ago, Bob was like, you want to know something? We need to do something with this catalog. I just blown away how much fun they're having on stage, how tight they sound. Bob Mould's guitar work has never been better. I saw Husker Du back in think 1985 in a room of 40 people. And it was a 22-minute concert because some asshole, I remember his name. His name was John, kept jumping up on the makeshift stage, trying to interact with the band members. And finally, the bass player threw his bass down and tackled John and started beating the shit out of him
Oh, no.
and was pummeling him along with the drummer while Bob played this guitar solo till he was bright red and then flipped us off and went off stage. And I was like, that was so punk. I've seen Bob Mould solo probably 3 times here in Portland. Always a great show. Sugar was just a fucking treat, man. It was
No,
just,
he's so talented. He's so good, and like he just guest plays on other people's albums. Like he was on a
he's
Foo Fighters album.
everywhere.
He's like
Yeah.
yeah, he's everywhere at once practically. But yeah, I didn't know they were coming. I hadn't been keeping track. However, let's talk about your car.
Well, no, let's
Uh,
finish about Bob Mould. One other thing about Bob that I appreciate is he's gay.
yeah.
He's always been out and open about it and unapologetically in the punk scene, and the punk scene totally accepted it. And I just fucking love that the punk aesthetic is you come as who you are and you show up and you're one of us, and you can feel it in the shows. Back in the MySpace days, I helped him solve a computer virus. So that's my 1 degree of connection with Bob Mould, that I once helped him solve a computer virus. Anyway,
That's
so let's talk about
hilarious.
my car. So it was entirely my fault that my car got its window smashed in a city smart park, because my car was not totally devoid of any possible thing that could have been in it. I had a bunch of, I don't know, probably a couple chairs and a couple blankets and random camping stuff in the back of my car.
Mhm.
And somebody had punched out the back passenger side window. Didn't take anything that I could tell, but they left a plastic bag and some burnt up shit.
Oh,
That was very nice of them. I didn't
so they
lick
were
it.
giving you stuff. They weren't
I
taking
they
stuff.
they broke my window to give me things. I am guessing that somebody had come by while they were trying to root around in there and figure out what they were doing and ran. Driving down there, I was consciously aware. I'm like, where am I going to park? Am I going to park on the street? It's
Right.
probably safest to park on the street. Or should I risk a smart park? And I'm like, fuck it. It's just going to be easier to go to the smart park on 10th and Yamhill. And that's what I did. And even when I parked my car walking away, I'm like, maybe I should move it so that it's sandwiched in tighter between 2 cars. And I'm like, no, I want to get to the show. It's already kind of late. And it serves me right. I did all the things wrong. I trusted Smart Park. I didn't strategically park it, and I didn't empty out my car of every possible thing that could be visible through a darkened tinted window. And that will be now the most expensive concert I've ever gone to. It's like $60 for the ticket and a little over $500 to replace the window.
500 for a side window? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
I've never had a window broken. I've had the lock on a door punched in on a car and then broke.
mm, yeah,
Yes.
that would have sucked more, I think. Yeah, the window's $171 and labor's like $235 or what have you. But it's funny, I posted about it and a bunch of other people said, "Oh yeah, I remember I went to a concert in Pioneer Courthouse Square or wherever and somebody broke into my car, right?" And I'm like,
So it's a opportunity. Too many cars.
It's an it's a crime of opportunity. It's a petty crime, but it just shows how desperate people are that they're willing to take a risk like that. And it just kind of shows how if you want to revitalize downtown, not that it was ever vital past 5 p.m. because that's when all the workers go home, you need to make sure that people aren't struggling in the fucking streets.
Yep. There will
And
always be crimes of opportunity. I mean, in New York, I had my car busted into more times.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
no, in New
door
York,
knocked in. Yeah. And somebody had actually stolen a car, one of our cars when I was in high school. And
Mm.
another time they broke into the car and there was nothing to take. So what they took was the beaded car seat.
Jesus.
Because it was like, well, I got to take something. One time they took an umbrella. It's like people will dig around to see, like, is there something good? And that was back
Yeah.
in the day when you popped the stereo face off your radio and took that.
Yeah, right, and you hit it. Yeah, no,
Right.
I remember doing that. I had my Volkswagen Campmobile broken into. My friend David had the back of his Honda Civic. That's when Honda Civics were this big
Hmm.
and had two hamsters up front.
That's what
Had the
we
back
had.
of it,
Yeah.
yeah, had his the back of it broken open and his gym bag stolen, which I lost an unfinished novel that was sitting in his gym bag. Serves me right, but it just fucking sucks though. And the smart parks, I thought a while back they did something like to make better lighting and everything else, and clearly didn't make any
I
difference.
think Smart Park is so I don't know if it's still true now, but back during 2020, Smart Park was the one place you could go because they didn't have cameras. So
Mm,
if you needed to change into your anarchy gear, you could go into a Smart Park and do that. Or if you need to go pee, you could go into a
mm,
Smart Park and do that. But I don't know if they changed that. I know they did improve the lighting because there were definitely dark spots. And I used to
no,
sometimes run into a smart park when the cops were being too ridiculous and I had to just get out of the way,
yeah,
and then run up a few things and film top down, which was
yeah.
a great angle. But
I don't know if you recall in 2017 when Joey Gibson and his goons were doing one of their Patriot Prayer protests, that grifter.
I was there in the smart park.
Sad grifter that the police ran into some of his goons up top on the top floor of a smart park,
Yep.
and they had rifles with them.
Yep.
And rather than ticketing them or asking them to leave, they asked them what they were doing there. And they said, well, those are our friends down there. If something goes wrong, we want to be close by so we can quickly pick them up and leave with them. And the Portland police said, oh, okay, great job. I left them alone. When I read that article, my brain exploded because if a smart park is empty and you park on the top floor, it still takes you 40 minutes to get down to the bottom floor. You do not leave those things quickly. So the argument that they gave the police was so on the face of it bullshit, and they were fucking heavily armed with guns with scopes, and yet they were allowed to remain.
Yeah, no, I remember I was there
Makes me feel
for
safe.
I don't know if it was that exact one, but there was a fight in a smart park because some of the Patriot Proud Boy dickheads were trying to go home. So they had gone back to the smart park. And of course, then they were being chased and harassed by the Antifa crowd. And then, of course, the cops come. So you get these three groups and they're all fucking in the smart park. And I'm across the street filming. And I'm like, this is like a fucking Benny Hill skit because you see, and then you see them come back down. You see one go this way, you see one go that way. And it's like, this is a fucking comedy. My city is a clown show. Right.
That's hysterical.
And then during 2020, like I said, I would run up there and just watch top down, but you would see plenty of folks who were running away from the cops also run into the parking lot. The cops rarely came in. And the one time they did was like in 2018 or 17 during the Not My President stuff. And I beat the cops. I ran up the other stairway because there were kids up there and I knew that they were going to come up and kettle them. So I ran up the other stairway with another legal observer and somehow we beat the cops, ran up there, told them, hey, the cops are coming, get out now because you're going to get kettled and they'll probably tear gas you. So we all went down the stairway that the cops were coming because we figured the best defense is just to be, just do that. And they let us go.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Oh,
oh, we just parked our cars.
there you go. Just be a good citizen. That's all it takes.
Just parked our cars. I don't know why I'm sweating in red. It's fine. Don't ask. Don't ask.
Right.
I just
Uh,
sprinted like a son of a bitch up 6 flights of fucking parking stairs.
I am glad that the Portland police crowd incident response has gotten a lot better than it was. I'll give them credit and due where it's due.
However, Aaron Schmaltz is very, very upset about the idea of banning chemical munitions in the city. And I don't know if you noticed, but it looks like PPA might try and sue the city. Not necessarily over that, but probably
Not
over.
over that, but over election petition fraud,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah. And it's like, you mean the fraud that you did?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, if you pay people to collect signatures to begin with, one problem, right? If the argument that you're giving people is on the face of it not accurate, two problem. If you're pushing for something that is highly, highly questionable and people reject to begin with, three problem. You get X number of signatures and you find out that you got a whole bunch of them that aren't valid because of whatever reasons. Your problem. You did something wrong. You want to push something that nobody fucking wants and is a terrible idea to begin with that goes against the will of the voters, and you need 40,000 signatures? Get 150,000.
Yeah, because
Maybe
there's
you'll,
always going to be ones that are not valid or can't be
yeah,
read or something happens.
yeah. And whose fault is that? That's not the city's fault, but crying petition fraud. I mean, I'm sorry, but I sign petitions and I'll look down and I'll see fuck you on there or whatever, right? Or Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Esquire, right? Or whatever. You're going to get a number of signatures that are going to be invalid.
Stay
So
puft marshmallow.
I'm pretty sure I've seen stuff similar, if not exactly that. The
But yeah,
Gozer, the
so for
Gozerian.
police association, sometimes you have to divide them out from the cops because some of the cops are just like, dude, I'm trying to do my fucking job. That's about it. Maybe rack up some overtime so I can, have more cash. But PPA is off their fucking rocker.
The stuff that they come up with is bonkers. It doesn't make sense and usually fails. And you can't just blame other people for your own lack of understanding, imagination, or preparedness, especially if you're pushing some kind of garbage like that on the people of Portland.
And I'll say, this is not to defend the police themselves or Chief Day or any of the folks in charge that we see on the news, because we know that generally the whole system of policing has major flaws, and anyone who joins it, sorry, you're subject to criticism. You joined it on your own volition. But it's got to be hard to be Chief Day, who sometimes is really trying to make sure he adheres to changes and directives that have been added in from various lawsuits. Mm-hmm. And then you have Aaron Schmaltz, who's doing whatever he does. And Aaron Schmaltz sounds almost like a MAGA hat. And it's like, how are you going to ever get the DOJ settlement settled when you have this loony who's your union president saying these things that is then going to rile up people? And then you have Chief Day who's like, I would love to get the lawsuit off our backs. I would love to be compliant.
No, Chief Day is genuinely trying to change the Portland police culture. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's not perfect, but you know what? He's not terrible. We've had way worse.
Better than many previous chiefs of police that we've had.
Chief Outlaw was awful.
Well, first of all,
your name is Outlaw.
First of all, Chief Law Abiding sounds much better.
Anyway, she went to Philly and did the exact same thing where she's like,
did worse. Actually,
people rowdy,
did worse by
tear gas him, just gas him and shoot him, gas him and shoot him. And it was like, how does this woman have a job?
What a terrible decision that was. And that's what happens when you don't actually vet your candidates, or you did vet your candidates and like, that's a person we want, which means your decision-making skills are not so great. You want to change the culture, you have to build trust. And trust internally. The internal complaints against fellow officers are up by 100%, meaning they've doubled over the last couple of years. Peers are reporting each other for violations. We don't know what the violations are, but that came out in the recent IPR report. And when the public says we want an environmental fund because we know we're being killed here, and we have the CEI hub that will kill all of us in whatever minor catastrophe that might happen that would set it alight. And then you say, we're going to siphon 25% of that off to hire more police when we can't fill the job openings we have currently. That's not building trust with Portland public. All it does is create more animosity and tension. And there's a bunch of cops out there that are, I'm sure, like, look, we're trying. You're not making this easier for us, right? And then there's a bunch of other cops who are like, oh, see, this just proves that they hate us.
Right.
And all you're doing is making things worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that some of the reason the police retired as soon as they could rather than working a few more years is because they were so fed up with this. I have friends and I know their spouse is a cop, and it's like, well, why did you retire? And they tell me, and I'm like, well, shit, dude, that makes sense to me. Of course, these are the cops who never end up in the news. They're not the ones who shot you in the face. They're not the ones who were part of the riot police, and they're just like the politics are despicable.
That's my understanding from people from the inside also, and people have left. I know one person who was actively recruited by the PPB, and they said absolutely not. They would have been a great person to be on the force, but they said absolutely not. I have no interest in working in that culture and what I know of it.
Right. Schmaltz one day needs to retire. He really does. He's not fit for this job. He's too angry. He's too binary. He's not actually giving a shit about the people he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Whatever this directive is, it's not actually in the best interest of the police.
No, it's not, and I don't understand it. And go ahead and sue the city. They donated $1 million of their own money to this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it hurts even more because you wasted all that money and you got Gozer the Gozerian.
So now they'll sue to what? Get the $1 million back, but they'll spend like $50,000.
I sue who? They're going to sue
Taylor in the city. Poor Robert Taylor.
They're going to sue the city for what? For saying you don't have legitimate signatures. You didn't do your job. It will fail.
They're going to say there's some sort of bias against the police. All these new peacock city councilors hate us. They just want
nothing
socialism.
To do with any of the process whatsoever.
They just socialism everywhere. Socialism.
Please let there be socialism everywhere.
No, I will say, not having a city council in session for a week, good for them. They need the break in a sense, and they probably need to recalibrate. But it's also like, man, I got nothing to talk about.
Well, you notice we didn't even mention. Nope, not going to do it. I'm not going to say any of the words. We're going to go through a whole episode without saying the words.
Daddy?
Don't start. Don't you start. Don't you start. I will mute you. I have the power.
Zimmerman?
Stop it. Stop. How do I mute you? How do I? There we go. See, you're muted. Ha! I was going to say that a lot of council people are taking this opportunity of this time off to launch their campaigns.
Surprising number of people actually running for those districts, and you haven't heard a word on a lot of them. And I'm very curious when some of the newbies are going to pop their head up as opposed to the incumbents.
Well.
Aside from Eli Arnold, can Eli Arnold fall in a sinkhole?
That's your go-to, isn't it? The sinkhole.
I mean, for now, I can't say anything worse. I might get in trouble.
Yeah, well, you don't want to say anything worse. You don't want them to
we don't need this to get sued by the PPA.
No, we absolutely don't. Yeah, but no.
Can you imagine Aaron Schmaltz? I'm going to sue Progress Poll.
I mean, for what? Because the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's on your voter roll, voter signature sheet.
She runs all the Antifa orgs in the city. It's like, you really think I got that much time in my hands? What am I, a fucking mafia?
I wish there were more Antifa orgs in the city, to be honest with you.
I wish there was one. There isn't even.
More Antifa, period. Org? Yeah, there are no orgs. So let's be real.
It would be amusing if there was one, like Antifa Inc.
Yeah, exactly. Here's our headquarters. It's right.
It's a downtown office. We're revitalizing downtown.
Oh, Society Hotel could be the new head of Antifa.
And they could join the Portland Metro Chamber. Andrew Hone would fucking love it.
Yeah. No. I have not seen any names really bubble up to the top either.
Yeah, I think September we should do that, and then October take a vacation and pop back in afterwards, and then talk about post-election.
Yeah, well,
And
or at
just
least
let it run.
up to the election, and then what we'll do is probably take some time off because doing this for 3 years straight, pretty much without missing more than a month or so. So
No, we should have a real season break.
yeah, so
Make people miss us.
make people like I need some kvetching instead of guided meditation. We can do guided kvetch.
Be like, why are these two assholes from New York complaining about fucking Portland? Why don't they go back where they came from? Well, I can't afford to.
Yeah, it's seriously. Well, now that New York City has socialism, we might be able to.
There
So
is that possibility,
let's
but
give it a couple years. Yeah,
and you know what? At least we could get a fucking decent bagel.
that's true. Well, Red Hen Bagelry, you can pre-order phenomenal fucking bagels, but they sell out quickly, and you do have to do the pre-order. They're phenomenal. They're so
You know, they're okay. I'm gonna keep FedExing myself my bagels. Thank you.
where
I FedEx bagels from New York City. That's how serious I am about my bagels.
you've been leaving me out of this.
I sorry. Yeah, the next time I decide to do a bagel order, I'll hit you up because I've included Rabbi Stone got some bagels.
Of course she did. Because she's your favorite Jew. Anyway,
There's a game. Who's your favorite Jew?
it's clearly going to be the rabbi. Yeah, no, I need some bagels, man. So yeah, include me because it's been a few years since I've had a real bagel that came from New York. It's just like I love baby doll pizza, but it's not a New York slab.
No, the closest you're gonna get is the Escape from New York Pizza. The guy who owns that place, he went to Brooklyn Tech. He gave me a hard time. He said my accent wasn't strong anymore, and I was like, well, fuck. What do you
I
want?
think he gave me that thing 25 years ago, but I do like Escape from New York. I think I like Baby Doll better.
Baby Doll's not bad. I also like what is that place? God, now the name just the one out on Fremont. What is it called? The Red Sauce? No,
Oh, that yeah, red sauce.
they're pretty good.
That's where you pick up the Red Hen bagels on Saturday and Sunday. They do a pop up there. Or also Signal Station Pizza out here in St. John's is pretty good.
It is actually. Signal's not bad for a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do.
For being in Portland, yes.
Yeah, it's not the quote unquote Portland pizza where what is it? It's what do you get on that? You get broccoli, you get radishes,
Nutritional yeast, kale.
pickled something, a carrot,
Yeah,
one carrot,
yeah, did
truffles,
bone juice.
foam. We just put foam on it.
Not foam, bone
Bone broth,
marrow. There you go. The
bone
pot
marrow,
pizza is going to have bone marrow and chicken eyeball.
tofu, kale, and some oranges and pineapple because you're fucking weird people. And then it's no longer a pizza; it's a fucking flatbread.
It's like a blueberry bagel. It's not. It's a bagel shaped muffin.
Yep.
It is not
However, cinnamon raisin bagels.
Those are legit.
Still a bagel.
Yeah, it's still a bagel.
Yes.
But no other fruit.
Or the bagels with the cheese melted on top with the
Don't make me
jalapeno.
point my Sharpie at you. What was that? The bagels
with the jalapeno and the cheese on top. That's not what you do.
I don't mind. I just because I really like jalapenos and cheese.
Sure, but that's not what you do.
No, it's not. It's more like baked on topping. Yeah.
Yeah, and stop dipping your bread in ranch. Like people, that's gross.
It is gross.
How much ranch? Like, do you want it?
What kind of dipping sauce do you want with your French fries?
Ranch.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would I want a dipping sauce for my friend? Can they not stand up on their own? Are they not just delicious potatoes with a little bit of salt and seasoning? No, you need ranch. And then I'm not buying your fucking potatoes.
And when you buy a pizza here, apparently you need ranch.
No.
Apparently when you buy a loaf of bread, you need ranch.
No. Also,
when you buy your red hen bagel, you need ranch.
no, there's no ranch there.
And when you buy your croissant, you need ranch.
No.
Because I don't know what's wrong with you white people, but you got to stop. This is why you die early.
Don't look at me. There's no ranch in my home, so.
There's no dressing in my home. There's no salad dressing in my house. There's no salad in my house right now. But
Well, okay, that's on you. But
you know what I got? I got kimchi, hot sauce, chimichurri sauce, red pepper flakes, pepper, salt, garlic, and olive oil.
Toasted onion, toasted garlic, red pepper flakes, Cholula. I have some jalapeno hummus, which is delicious.
Oh, and I have pesto sauce because I like to make pasta and chicken and pesto sauce.
Gross.
It's not ranch. Fucking ranch.
It's better than ranch, but still gross. Yeah.
People just slathering themselves in ranch. What if that was a Pioneer Courthouse thing? You know how there's the dance yourself clean where they throw out soap?
It's like the whole Holly Festival, but ranch.
Yeah, or like
just
mud wrestling,
everybody covers
but ranch
themselves
dressing.
in different types of salad dressing and dances around.
Yeah, or like
probably going to be a thing now.
It wouldn't shock me if it is somewhere in the woods.
Okay, on that note.
Yeah, no, there's something wrong with this place.
Yeah,
why do we live here?
Because my cat likes it. That's why. So
I will say, though, obviously, if we did not like living here, we would not be complaining about Portland the way we do. Because if you don't give a shit about something, you don't give a shit about something. We obviously like the city enough to stay here and critique it and talk about making it better. If we didn't give a fuck, we'd be like the people from California who buy their house and don't even know who their counselor is.
That is very true, and we do give a shit about Portland, and we criticize and we kvetch because we love, but we want things to be better, and when we see things not being better, it creates a podcast. So you want to get rid of us? Stop sucking.
If you want us to stick around, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Status quo. Zimmerman, buy a mug. Wilson, buy a mug.
Exactly.
Yeah. Aaron Schmaltz, buy a mug.
That would be so funny if he did.
Maybe he will. I don't know. But all right. It is now time to make dinner.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hungry with all that ranch talk. You got my white stomach juices going.
Ew.
Ew.
Gross. Oh, before I go, one plug. This is going to be a long one, actually. One plug. There's a documentary called The Elk. And I had talked to you about it a long time ago. It is now showing on Friday at OMSI. If you like tickets, it's teamed up with a couple of other docs. One of the other docs is about blowing up the whale on the coast. But The Elk is a 35, 40-minute documentary talking about the elk statue downtown. Why do we care? What does it mean? But also the biggest point of contention is, what does the elk mean to people? And especially during 2020 protests, what happened? And so my footage made it in there. I'm in it. Corey Elia is in it. You remember him?
Cool.
He was the guy who got pepper sprayed point blank by the cops.
Yeah.
A couple of other activists, advocates you'll recognize are in it. Some of the other journalists and stuff are talking about the protests and the elk too. So if you want to get like a nice new capsule of what the protests were like, and to a certain degree, what do statues symbolize? If they should symbolize anything, and who chooses? Who chooses who the fuck gets turned into a statue?
Okay, cool. No, that's a great plug.
If you're bored Friday, buy a ticket and I'll see you there.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right,
Be
bye.
good.
Progress Portland is also on Facebook and Instagram, and we have event listings and updates on our website, progressportland.org. There's a content form on our website if you'd like to help out or have questions or comments. Our theme music is by the Portland band Helvetia.